Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Then We Eat. If you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us. If you've been here before, welcome back. On this week's episode, we'll be making refried rice. We're going to start with 1.5 cups of rice. We'll measure the rice out here and we'll go to the sink to rinse it out. Today I'm using basmati rice. You can use long grain rice or jasmine rice if you like, but this is what I have for today. Let's head over to the sink and give it a rinse. So we're going to put it in our strainer. And we're going to use cold water to rinse. And you're going to rinse it until the water runs clear. You rinse the rice to get all the glutens out so that it's not as sticky when it's cooked. Okay, as you can see, the water coming out is looking pretty clear down there. Looks like my rice is rinsed. Let's put it in the Instant Pot. So you want to add your rice while the rice is still wet. And to that, we want to add 1.5 cups of water. So it's the same amount of water as you have rice. And then we want to add about 1 tablespoon of oil. The oil is going to keep your rice from sticking together. So we're just going to put our lid on, put the tab at the back to sealing, make sure it's not on vent, and you're going to turn your Instant Pot on. We're going to turn it on rice setting. It's going to cook for 8 minutes, and once it's cooked for 8 minutes, we're going to let it steam for the 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes we're going to come back and we're going to manually vent whatever steam is left. Now it's very important that you cook your rice prior to making your fried rice. You really want cold rice. So you can either do this earlier in the day, or it's best if you do it the day before, put it in the fridge and use day old rice. Don't use hot rice right from the rice cooker. Your fried rice won't work. So we'll be back when the rice is cooked. Okay, so our rice is cooked. Now it's time to let off the rest of the steam. Okay, so I've left it a little bit longer than the 10 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it from the sealing to the venting, and be careful not to be in the way of the spray. Whoa, okay, well that was hard. Well, let's see what our rice looks like. First thing we're going to do is we're going to move the Instant Pot off the counter. So there's our rice. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to put it on a tray and put it in the fridge, and it'll be ready for later. You just want to put it in as thin of a layer as you can get it. So spread it all the way out on your tray. And there you go. Now I'm going to leave this on the counter for a little while so that it's totally cool, and then I'll put it in the fridge. And we'll be back once the rice is cooled, and we'll continue on with the fried rice. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so welcome back. Our rice is cooked, it's cooled, we're ready to start cooking. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our wok on as hot as we possibly can. I've got my induction here. I'm going to turn it to 1000. You want to have the wok at about medium to medium hot, somewhere in that frame. Once the wok heats up, which should be very quickly, we're going to add 1/2 tablespoon of butter to the wok and let it melt. This is 3 tablespoons of butter, so I'm just going to add 1/2 tablespoon. Okay, so I'm going to turn the wok down. It looks like my butter is going to burn, so I'm going to turn the wok down to about 750 and pull the heat off. It's a little too warm. I don't want to actually fry my eggs up too much. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I've got 2 eggs that I've beaten. We're going to put them in the wok and we're going to scramble them. This will not take long at all. And we'll just give it a nice stir, and we're looking for some scrambled eggs. There we go. Now we're going to take our eggs out. Try and scrape out all the eggs that you can. And we're going to set our eggs aside for now. Okay, so now we're going to cook some vegetables. So I'm going to take another tablespoon of butter, add it to the wok. Once my butter is melted, I'm going to add a large carrot that I've diced, a small onion that I've diced, and 1/2 cup of frozen peas. And I want to cook them until they're nice and tender. So I've got them all cut up here, and we're just going to add them in. Our carrots and onion are almost cooked. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, about 2 cloves, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. We'll cook this for about 30 seconds just to give the garlic a chance to cook. Okay, I would say our vegetables are cooked. It's time to move on to the next step. Now we're going to add the remaining butter. We should have started with 3 tablespoons, so we should be adding 1.5 tablespoons of butter right into our mixture. We're going to add our rice. This is the rice that we cooked earlier. We're going to add all the rice to this. If you added hot rice directly to this, then it would all stick together as one big lump. That's why you want to use cold rice that you've cooked prior to. And we're going to add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. If you like soy sauce, you can add more. If you don't like it so much, you can only add 3. Now we're going to give this a good mix, and I'm going to increase my heat by a little bit. You want your wok as hot as you can get it without burning. So we're going to give this a nice mix. You want to break up all of your rice. You'll notice that when it went into my pan, it was glumpy. You don't want chunks in here, so you want to just kind of mix it all up. Get it all incorporated with your peas, your onions, your soy sauce. And we're just going to cook this for 2 to 3 minutes. You want to continuously stir it. You don't want it to stick to the bottom of your wok. While our rice is cooking, I'd like to take this opportunity to have you hit the like button if you like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment down below. Did you like the video? Or better yet, what would you like to see us make next? My rice is almost cooked. My recipe called for green onions. I didn't have any. If you have some, this would be the time to add your green onions. You just want them slightly cooked. You'd still like a little bit of bite to them. So our rice is heated through and it's cooked. It's now time to add the egg back into the mixture. I'm going to take our scrambled egg, add it back in. Make sure that you get the egg mixture in all of your rice. And once your egg is incorporated into the rice, then it's done. I would say that's pretty good. I'm going to turn the burner off and we're ready to plate. And now we should try it. Very good. You can taste the garlic. You got the flavor of the onions, the carrots, the peas. Oh, and that egg just makes it taste so much better. This is so good. So that pretty much does it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Oh, and don't forget, first we cook, then we eat.